When Swerve Strickland defeated Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, he stomped Ospreay's face in so bad I thought I was watching African American History X. Beautiful. Ospreay reportedly lobbied for Swerve to win the match to give him the defining win he needed as world champion 3 months into his reign. And if that's true, man, I gotta say, I don't give a fuck if Will Ospreay agreed to lose to Swerve. That don't make you special. Swerve Strickland is your AEW World Champion. And still, NYUGGA. Why is anybody even talking about Ospreay? Will Ospreay won the silver medal in the AEW Olympics, yet he's trying to stand on the top podium alongside Swerve. No! Leave! You lost! It's over! Shut up, walk away, and give the stage to Swerve. I don't want to hear about Ospreay no more! The irony of this whole situation is Ospreay reportedly wanted Swerve to beat him to detract from all the negative press of AEW's half-assed booking of Swerve as world champion. But by leaking this story, all Ospreay and or AEW management did was shine more light on the negative press around Swerve's world title run and making Swerve's biggest career win about Will Ospreay. Today, we're gonna talk about this bullshit narrative being created to make Will Ospreay look like a white savior, why Will Ospreay is not a class act, shouldn't be celebrated for doing a job, and why Ospreay and AEW need to stop responding to internet gossip and go all in on Swerve Strickland. Subscribe in Swahili and then leak it to the dirt sheets that you subscribe to a black YouTube channel so everybody knows you're a hero. If Will Ospreay truly was a class act, this bullshit report would have never seen the light of day, and Ospreay's alleged good deed would have been kept to his damn self. Instead, Ospreay is basically going on a press tour, thirsty for sympathy because he went to bat for his black friend. He really thinks he's King Schultz from Django in these streets, doesn't he? We need to be talking about how Swerve Strickland is a bigger star after beating Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door the way I said he would. We should even be talking about how it's looking more and more like Swerve is gonna hold the AEW World title past All In the way I said he wouldn't. Would love to be wrong about that. Instead, we're talking about the aerial white savior assassin? AEW Gooners fell hook, line, and sinker for the sympathetic Will Ospreay story that somehow, some way leaked to the incel wrestling media. And in Swerve's finest hour, after giving Will Ospreay his best match, motherfuckers are talking about how gracious Will Ospreay is for allowing Swerve Strickland to beat him? Quote, Ospreay has the potential to go down as one of the GOATs in pro wrestling. Sucker. Ospreay is in a class of his own when it comes to pro wrestling and a true class act. Sucker. If this is true, then props to Ospreay for being a class act. Ugh. Maybe try to book matches that make money and not just try to prove a point for the internet marks. Okay, he cooked. It's sad that one of Tony's talents is a better booker than he is. Okay, he ate. It's nice and all what Ospreay did for Swerve, but Ospreay knows he's gonna win the title at some point, so it's easier for him to be a team player. Okay, I like that. This shows me the company listens way too much to the internet smarts like ROH did and why will always stay where it is. Okay, so not everybody's falling for this Will Ospreay man of the people bullshit. Shouts to Wrestling Inc. Why is this weird backstage story about Ospreay even a narrative? So Swerve and his fan base can thank Will Ospreay for letting Swerve win? What is this, a green book? Oh, thank you, Mr. Ospreay. Thank you so much for allowing Swerve Strickland to hold his world championship, Mr. Ospreay. Thank you, Mr. Ospreay, for agreeing to lose. You're the real MVP. Shut the fuck up before I stab a vanilla wafer with an afro pick. Make no mistake, the only reason this Ospreay story got out is because Ospreay wanted it out. So instead of being a proud moment for the proud black champion, Swerve's title win is tainted with the flavor of "you're welcome." This is Hulk Hogan 101. Like how everybody somehow knows the story of why Goldberg won the strap in Atlanta, because it was Hogan's idea to do the job. This is a narrative Hogan wanted out there because he's the greatest carny worker of all time, and Hogan wanted you to know how gracious he was more than he wanted you to know that Goldberg beat his ass for the big gold belt. Losing a championship match is something every top star in history has to do. That doesn't make Hulk Ospreay special because he agreed to do the job or even lobbied for it. It makes him a professional wrestler, no different from Chris Jericho or Cody Rhodes or MJF or Samoa Joe or Hangman Adam Page or even CM Punk or any of the long list of professional wrestlers who lost world title matches. And you know what? There were no stories about how gracious they were in defeat because losing in main events is what professional wrestlers do. It's not news. In fact, this Ospreay narrative makes Will come off as unprofessional because now it's Ospreay who's trending on Twitter for being such a great guy. Whether it's AEW or Ospreay or all of the above, manipulating the incel wrestling media to make sure you know what a class act Will Ospreay is, all they're doing is A, responding to an internet narrative that doesn't deserve their attention, and B, overshadowing Swerve Strickland's big win among that same fan base. And now I'm hot. Drop that Tony Khan impression right quick.
AEW is the #1 professional wrestling company among middle-aged adults on Twitter, and we have so much momentum going for us right now. In fact, our video game, AEW Fight Forever, has outsold Grand Theft Auto 6, which is a huge accomplishment for us.
But that game hasn't even come out.
And there's no denying this movement. In fact, the AEW movement consists of a core audience that breathes heavily as soon as it starts to move.
Okay,
so let's talk about also believe the sickos. You know, I'm a sicko, you're a sicko, my turtle's a sicko, everybody's a sicko. We call our AEW audience the sickos because half of them have been diagnosed with COVID and the other half have been diagnosed with insomnia for staying up late nights on message boards and throwing temper tantrums on subreddits. We've changed the very art.
We're just gonna let him keep talking
here at AEW because all of our wrestlers are all elite and the wrestling's so good we don't even need compelling stories.
Oh God, he's got a nosebleed again. We'll be right back. Will Ospreay is the pro wrestling equivalent to when woke whites casually mention they voted for Obama twice, just to impress their black friends, when all they're really doing is coming off as pretentious and actually kind of prejudiced, because being black doesn't mean you automatically love you some Obama. But I don't want to come off as an ingrate who doesn't appreciate Will Ospreay, quote, doing Swerve a favor by doing his damn job. So thank you, Miss Ospreay. You're such a class act, Miss Ospreay. Thank you, Miss Ospreay. If he's really a class act who wants attention for helping a brother out, then send me reparations, nigga. In pounds, too, not dollars. This Ospreay debacle reminds me of this one time my white friend Greg casually mentioned how he held the door open for a black woman this one time. Yeah, thank you for your contributions to civil rights. Shut the fuck up, Greg. Anyway, Greg Ospreay is doing no favors to Swerve's biggest moment. He's stepping all over it the way Swerve stepped all over his face last Sunday. What a worker. Terry Bollea Ospreay wants credit for doing a job that he was supposed to do. What a hero. AEW is turning into one giant Chris Rock joke. Ospreay lost a match where Swerve was a minus 800 betting favorite. And what, he wants credit for it? You were supposed to lose.
What, you want a cookie?
Miss me with that bullshit. You will never, ever catch me sympathizing with any wrestler who wants attention because they stared up at the lights for the first time in 4 months and don't know how to deal. Poor baby. You say class act, I say poor taste. And oh my God, what is this? Guys, what's happening? Is this a headline about me paying my taxes in 2024 and donating a portion of my salary to cancer research? Guys, how did you know I did that? OMG, am I trending on Twitter for being a hero because of my philanthropy and tax payments? You're gonna make me start black blushing, guys! How did any of this good news about me ever make it to the mainstream media? I only told a couple of journalists, bruv. Teehee. I refuse to support any narrative that will make Will Ospreay the savior because he lost to a black world champion. The truth is, AEW probably took one look at the numbers Africanix has been doing lately compared to their views with a much more expensive roster, and they're like, we gotta get blacker immediately. If and when Swerve Strickland main events All In, I better not hear one peep from the incel wrestling media about how it was Will Ospreay's idea for Swerve to main event All In Ospreay's home country, because that's just the type of guy Will Ospreay is. No, the world champion is your main event. Ospreay is a silver medalist who needs to step aside, let Swerve cook, take his loss like a man, and shut the fuck up. Respectfully. Check out this wild Dijak interview and subscribe. Is Will Ospreay a hero? Is he a savior? Should he be a finalist for the Nobel Peace Prize because he lost one wrestling match in 4 months? Or should the Billy Goat just shut his ass up? Tell me in the comments!